Hello and welcome back to the Finish Line and episode 2 of our Cheltenham Festival Ante-Post tips. But before we get into it, we said throw in your questions last week and we'll go through a few of them. So Dave has a few and we will do our best not to abuse anyone.
I'm in charge of this portion, so I have to get it right. Right, the first one I'm going to go is Tom there.
Tom, you there?
I'm here.
Oh, Tom is here, by the way.
Shane wants to know. Shane wants to know: is it possible to get Absolute Tom to wear a red-white Cheveley Park shirt for the next AntePost episode? And heck, we should all just wear the red, white, and blue silks for Ballyadam, Allaho, and Envoy Allen for Cheltenham next year. So, Tom, can you get a red, white, and a blue shirt?
No.
Well, there you go.
Because it's not navy.
These questions won't take long, will
they? sorry, Shane. That's a no.
That's a no. No.
I have Eric A. Valverde, who actually writes in a lot of comments. I have Eric Bloodaxe for the Ballymore, Alexia Dane and Classical Dream for the Arkle. I might trade out of them come race day, but if they run, they will all be shorter. He has Eric Bloodaxe at 50s and the other two at 25s. What do you think of that?
I'd leave Classical Dream. I think he's going to be a forgotten horse big time, and there's a lot of ability there, and he will be short come the day. Eric's Bloodaxe, I never took to him. Who's the other one?
He has Alexia Dane and Classical Dream for the Arkle.
Alexia Dane is not too bad, but I think Classical Dream is the best one you have there. Tom, what do you think of that?
Yeah, like they're all chancy, but they're not without a chance, you know. Alexia Dane was probably going okay when he fell last year. Eric Bloodaxe is a horse I like. Probably needs to get it together a little bit more. I don't know. He bombed out too bad to be true the last day, but his form before that was very, very good. Is he a Cheltenham horse? I'm not so sure. We'll see. And what was the other one? Classical Dream? Yeah, look, just needs to jump there, doesn't he? Like, they're all horses who have lots of stability, so you're starting off well anyway.
Next question.
We'll do two more. We're not English, we're Scouse. The two I fancy, lads, are the Big Getaway for the RSA at 20-1. The predictable comment: anything he does over hurdles is a bonus, applies here. I think he's huge and an out-and-out galloper. I think he'll improve £10 for a fence. So 20s is a decent bet. QU lads saying he's a stinging hurdler. And then the other horse, and he's really keen on this one, is Valere of Alan Kings for the Ballymore.
Tom.
Yeah, I can't argue with the Big Getaway. Patrick seen there is keen on him.
Jesus Christ, man.
They're all the ads in the videos.
Keep playing and get money from
it. Keep going, Tom.
Jesus. He's got a very good chance of being a really nice chaser. Really could be anything, that horse over fences, I think. And is one I'm looking forward to, and he leads on to my AntePost bet, actually, for later. The other horse of Alan Kings, I've never heard of it. What's it called?
Valere, Valleres. It's like a French name. And I'll be honest, I don't know it either.
I don't know either. So you could be onto a good one.
You could be onto something there.
He could be onto something there. He was beating a Ludlow last time out.
Nah.
He's got to improve a lot, I'd imagine.
One more?
Okay, and the last one I have was on the other video from last week, and it's from Callum Lumley. Could anybody advise me on what the best way is to bet on horse racing? Is it the best to singles, doubles, accumulators with horses to place? So we kind of touched on this last week, that we spend a minute or two each on saying how we do our AntePost bets. But if we give Callum just an idea of how we each bet as well, just as he's a new person watching the videos and into horse race betting.
And you go on.
Standard betting for me, I've said it a few times in the videos, people probably from way back when they first started watching, I have a set amount of money every weekend that I put away. And if I lose that amount of money, then that's it for the weekend. If I am in profit and I fancy another horse, I'll have a bet. But generally, it's a €50 stake, and then I break that up into the horses that I want to bet. I usually wouldn't back much racing during the week unless I really fancy something. To be honest, being bored in lockdown, I probably bet more than I should have this year. But I'm sure a lot of people are like that as well. And then I have a max stake and a kind of stake plan, which majority of people do. So my normal bet would be like €5. If I fancy something a little bit stronger, it's €10. And then my max bet would be €30. AntePost wise, I wouldn't be as strong as Tom and Andrew doing AntePost betting. I tend to wait till the actual declarations are out, but obviously Cheltenham is a different entity and you have a few AntePost bets, but I wouldn't have as many as a lot of people that bet on Cheltenham do. Regards fancying things, it's just generally a price kind of thing, and one of the horses was Ngolo last week. I thought 50s was way too big and it wasn't going to stay around for long.
Don't be trying to rob my bloody...
No, I'm using that as an example. You put it up, but I had backed it because it was 50 to 1 and I thought it was too big.
What price is it now?
It's 33s now.
Value, Thomas.
That's it. How long have we got, lads? Can I sit here and talk about value for like
No.
No.
A minute or two.
Aside,
No, go on. You've 2 minutes. Go.
Okay, joking aside, for me, I know the person who asked the question there was on about like doing like accumulators or doubles or backing to place or backing singles. For me, when I'm betting seriously, it's all singles. Really, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to find two that you think of value. Now that said, like I've said it the whole time, like about you have to find value, and the horse has to be. You have to consistently beat the price of the SP to win money. However, like I've got a 5-fold on for Cheltenham. Like I've got a very, very small stake on it. It's just for a bit of fun. But everybody I think does those silly bets. But what I would say, and this is what I tried to do the last year, is to cut them out as much as possible. Because in the long run, they won't win you money. And I now have a thing where I'll sit down and I'll actually ask myself why not to back a horse. I'll actually look at the race, pick out a horse that I think, if I fancy one or if it's in my tracker. And a lot of them come from the tracker. I think it helps a lot. It narrows down horses. It keeps them in your mind that have run well the time before. And I actually look at those horses on the tracker now and I try and find a reason why not to back them. And I think that really helps me anyway. If you can go through it and not find a reason not to back it, and you do back it, then if you're picking the right horses, you'll win more than you lose anyway.
Yeah, that's good advice. Mine is kind of. Well, say you're starting off. When I started off, I was doing very small bets until I got to know tracks, trainers, horses, what they go on, what they don't go on. So if you're starting off new, don't be thinking you have to go, I have to put 10 on this to make money. I have to put 20 on this. Start slow. Build yourself up into it. Get to know the form. Get to know the horses. Get to know the tracks, the trainers, everything that goes with it. Then you can eventually build up your stakes and build up your knowledge. And that way you'll have more information to go to war with, for the lack of a better word. But where I am now with betting, I'd be more singles, because you get your trebles, you get your accumulators. They're near impossible to get. If we could get them every week, we'd live off it. But it's hard. The way I look at racing is I trust my own judgment. As everyone who's a long time viewer of this, I call it the eye test. If I see it and believe it, I believe it happened. Sometimes you do see it, and the odd one you'd go, right, that was too good to be true. This fella's never shown any form. But if it's a decent race and he's beating okay horses and he does it well, I'd go, okay, that's one for the tracker. And if he's an okay price, my kind of rule of thumb is even money is the shortest I go in on a horse. If he's anything lower than that, I'd be happy to sit there and leave him win. But it's in the way of Tom saying about the value. If you're starting off, of course you're going to want to have your big winners. You're not going to go in with your, oh, he's 7-4. He's definitely going to win because he's 7-4. I don't know what the percentage is on favourites win, but I think it's very low. So don't be getting drawn into, oh, he's favoured, he must win. You go through races today, you can count on your hand how many favourites won. So don't get drawn into favourite backing. You're on a hiding to nothing. The odd day you get a good few favourites, but you're going to be in loss going through. But as I said, if you're starting off, small stakes, learn the form, learn the horses, learn the trainers, learn the tracks. It'll all come to you then. Then when you get comfortable, you can go forward, increase your stake, you'll have an increased knowledge, and you'll be more comfortable backing. So take it easy starting off, build it up, and then just don't bet stupidly. As they say, when the fun stops. It generally is. If it's not fun anymore, stop. Because you're just going to dig a hole and dig it more. We've all been there. I've been there years ago. Everyone's been there. It's not a nice place to be. And we're talking from experience. So genuinely, just do it for fun and enjoy it. That's all I can say.
Andrew, something there just on backing short prices. Like, if you think about it, if you bet at short prices until you bet at even money, and every horse you back is evens, you've got to be right more than one in every 2 times to make money.
You gotta have,
and then that's hard to do, even if you are betting at even money. If you bet, if your average bet is 10-1, you could be wrong 9 times out of 10, and you still break even. That's what I'd say. That'd be my advice: is look for the bigger prices and the value. And also, you hinted on it as well, Andrew, with the betting bank and starting off small. A thing I used to do when I was in college and stuff, I thought was great fun, was I used to start off with like 50 euros, but you could do this with a fiver, and challenge yourself to make profit in a month or 2 months, and just it'll teach you to learn how to stake and how not to overstake your bets. Because if you've only got 20 euros there to bet with for the whole month, you're not going to have 10 euros on the first horse. You might, a strong bet for you might be 2 euros. And it's just challenging to see if you can do it. If you can do it at that level, then scale it up and scale it up. But take it handy, learn your mistakes when you're betting very low stakes.
Like when you're going out, say with the lads, you don't need to be Billy Big Balls because they're throwing 20s and 30s on horses. Just because they're doing it doesn't mean you have to do it. So don't be getting dragged into the social bloody bubble that, to look deadly, you have to do this. You don't.
Look, one thing as well, and I done a little write up on American football betting, and I'm not saying to anybody, everybody likes to have a drink at the races or have a drink and watch the racing, but being realistic, if you want to, like Tom was saying about like making money from gambling and all that, gambling and drinking don't really go together, because obviously drinking lowers your inhibitions and you start backing things silly. But everybody does that as a kind of a day out and a bit of fun. But to make money, if you're serious about it, drinking while backing horses and trying to be smart about making money, it doesn't go well together.
Punch us down 2019.
Exactly.
Wow.
One of the worst experiences of my life was going to the Derby, right? And I went to the Derby with a friend, and we had a good day out. And I think I was down a couple of quid, but nothing major at all. And we went drinking then, and I don't know, football was on, or some of the rugby had been on anyway that morning. And we started drinking, and Tremor was on. So we started betting on Tremor. And
even when you're not drunk, you lose money out there.
By the end of it, I ended up a lot down. a significant amount for me down anyway. And I was disgusted. Anyway, I woke up the next day, and a horse that I'd watched and I'd tracked for ages was running, and it was 12 to 1, and I really fancied it. And I said, I told myself after the night before, I was like, I can't, like, you can't do that again. That's ridiculous. Like, you need to stop betting now for a month, teach yourself a lesson. And the horse was running. I really fancied it. And I said, no. I said, stick to your convictions. Stick to what you know. The horse bolted up 12 to 1. I got all my money back, and I have never done that again.
You learn your lessons.
Like Andrew said, learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, but try to do that when it's small stakes.
Now, on to what the video is about. Look, that was a life lesson for everyone.
Look,
you never think we do that.
It is good to touch on it at times.
That's a gambling video all in one there. Yeah. It's true, lads. Like, it's a serious thing. Like, it's money at the end of the day. Money pays your mortgage, it pays for your car. Like, you know, keep your betting separate. That's the biggest thing I could say to you.
It might not be the most exciting thing in the world to talk about, but it is serious. So, yeah.
Look, we got asked the question and we answered it.
Yeah.
Podcast of the people, lads. Right, on to what the video is about. Our AntePost bets. So this is our second video. Well, it's probably about our sixth since lockdown, but this is the official second video of our AntePost bets. So this week, who wants to go first?
I don't mind. I'll go first.
Go on, so.
This week, my horse is in the Ryanair, and it is Fakir Dudery. I think he will.
Two losers.
I think he will win this weekend. He's running over 2 miles, but Kevin Blake already said it was at the races.
You actually going to agree with something Kevin Blake said?
No, he's just said he's going up and trip. Like Kevin obviously has fairly strong ties with Joseph's Yard. I think the form of the Arkle last year behind Put the Kettle On is fairly good form, is strong enough. I think he does want to trip. He'd probably end up being a 3 miler, but this year I think he's perfect horse for the Ryanair. He's kind of 14, 16 to 1 price. I think that's fair enough. He's ran well twice at the Cheltenham Festival. He jumps super. I think if the trip probably caught him out last year, he's just not quite fast enough for 2 miles. Maybe he does run well fresh, so maybe if you might see him at the start of the season, then he come back, have a little break and come back. But I really do think he's going to be in a big shout to win the Ryanair this year.
Fair enough. Ferialaho's running it, but anyway. Tom?
Yeah, my one actually, I'm taking Dave's angle, and my one runs this weekend as well, and it is going to be Mandela Indo for the Gold Cup. I think he'll win this weekend, and it's purely a price thing. He's 10 to 1 with Bet365 and Sky Bet, and if he wins, as I think he will at the weekend, they're just going to shorten him anyway, and I could see him being about 7 to 1. Yeah. I think he's got a cracking chance in the Gold Cup. He's also liked for a long time, and nothing against Albin Photo at all. But Manila Indo is a clear choice there. I think when he wins at the weekend, I think his price will shorten, and you'll be on at 10 to 1 if you have a couple of quid on.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's a very, very good horse, and he will shorten because he will win. So if you fancy for the Gold Cup, 10 to 1 is the price to get on now. Mine it's kind of an obvious one, but the price is ridiculous. It's Altior for the champion chase.
Do you know what? It was 1 or 2 for me this week, and I seen it, so I was like, fair enough. But I really agree with this. Yeah.
The price is ridiculous.
Can I take credit for putting you onto this?
Oh, will you stop?
I actually have this back the last 5 weeks, Tom.
It's Altior for the champion chase. He's 7 to 1 best price now. He's running the Tingle Creek in 2-3 weeks' time. He'd win that. He'd probably do his usual burst away from the last. He'll win by about 8 lengths. And he will be shortened into favourites. Shaq and Postwall is 4 to 1. Last time I looked, and that's ridiculous because he hasn't. He's run, as we said loads of times. He's run 4 times in 4 years. Altior's been there, done that. Is unbeaten around Cheltenham. He's won numerous champion chases. He's only ever missed one festival in his whole career, bar his bumper days, and he is a strong 7-1 for the champion chase for me. I know people are going to say that he's 10 hit, was he 9 or 10 now? 10 hit 11.
He'll be 10 hit 11.
And people are going to say, oh, see him in the gallops where Epatton travelled all over him. Yeah, she's a champion hurdle horse. This fella doesn't wake up till he sees a fence. He's as lazy as they come. Even Nicky Henderson said, if you've seen him school over fences, you think he's running. What was
He basically said he's a rocket up his arse.
He just said he's like a sprinter. So Altior for a multiple champion chase winner at 7-1. He's going to win the Tingle Creek in December. He's going to be about 4s. Join fair with Shack and Postois. I'd get on to 7-1 now. It's a great bet.
This is like, obviously they're kind of quick selections, but this is going to be a thing that's going to rumble on for the whole season until the champion chase. I'd say the Shackan in the Shackan camp or in the Altior camp. I don't know where Tom stands in it, but I know on the prices Tom thinks Altior is a good bet. I'm in the Altior camp anyway, but I just can't understand the price. And I agree with you. I'm backed already for the champion chase. He's a multiple champion chase winner. People are saying about last season, oh, he's a pensioner now. It was just a bad season. The same happened to Suriname. That race just destroyed both of them. I think majority of people thought Suriname, highest rated chaser in England, is a joke. He comes out, wins top weight over in the Charlie Hall chase, and he looked very, very good. So I don't know. I think it's a crazy price.
It is 7, and it is still a joke that he's rated the best horse in England. It's still a joke. But anyway, there are 3 selections for week 2 of Cheltenham Festival. They are again.
Fakir Dudery for the Ryanair chase.
Tom?
Manila Indo for the Cup.
And mine again is Altior for the champion chase. So that is us done for our episode 2 of the Cheltenham Festival Ante-Post tips. If you haven't watched already, our weekend preview is up as well. And so if you haven't subscribed already, click the subscribe button. Give us a like on the video and comment below with your selections for the Cheltenham Festival this far out. And we are back again on Sunday for our live Talking Points episode where we will review all the weekend's racing at 8 o'clock on Sunday. So until then, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you.